Hey, it's a Filbert. This is just a 3v3 on Rivertown. I brought a fairly balanced army. I have a pretty cav heavy with a mix of light cav and some Yari cav in my general, who's all melee. Me and my teammates discussed this before the battle begun. I'm rushing to try and take the hill. My teammate on my right's going for the town, and my other teammate is just gonna support me and keep his bow cab hitting. He went all cav, which I am usually not a big fan of going all cav or kind of spamming one type or one group of unit. But it's what he did. So right now he's trying to draw me out. I charged him at the last minute. I seen these spears, so I didn't want to take the downhold charge. Although my general is able to ignore spears. Uh, so I'm still trying to rush my army up here. He did get up here pretty quick, and I'm trying to pull away. I see the spears coming. I have some matchlocks in front, same for some foot samurai. So I want to try and get set to fire in. I see him still chasing my calves, so I'm pulling them away. And I charge again. I'm sending some spears in behind them. He is now sending, I'm going to put this in slow motion for a minute. He's sending a lot of swords forward. So I'm going to get my swords ready, pull my spears back. Meanwhile, one of the other players is sending a large cav force around the flank. And he has some guards, Shogunate guards up front, Imperial guards in the back. So this is a pretty tough force. Right now I know I'm outmatched. I'm going to counter-charge him because he does not appear to be charging me yet. His general gets some good shots off. But my ally has his Walker Raiders there. He now has some mounted gunners up here supporting me. So the hill battle has begun. I'm able to pull my matchlock monks out with little casualties. And I know these are going to just destroy the flank, help me win the left flank. And he also has some cannons firing. Not a good choice on this map. My cav is basically wiped out by all of his gun cav. And I knew it was about lost cause now. I'm trying to just get my general out alive, which I do manage. I win the infantry fight. A big reason was the support by the Imperial Cav. And meanwhile, Blue is getting to the town. He's going to get in a good position. But he doesn't see the spears come here. They are going to rush his dismounted Yari Riders. He shouldn't dismount both. He should have just dismounted one. So in case something like this did happen, he didn't lose both. We noticed it, but it's too late. And he also sent his cab over. So there's no escape. I'm now pulling off the hill. I see him marching up with his line infantry. I don't really have an answer for it. A couple valleys and my army will be completely gone. I did take some pretty heavy casualties for that hill. It wasn't probably worth it in the end. It's not like going up there was fine, but we didn't get the support, the troops we needed, and that more or less knocked me out. Now I'm in a position where I can provide minor support, flanking. When you're having an army get this slow, you can still they can't ignore you. So if they line up one-on-one against one of my allies, I can get on a flank, and if they ignore you, you're gonna wreck them. So it's gonna force them to at least acknowledge you, take units off. You can look over here. Blue's dismounted yard cav are basically about to get routed. They're gonna take out the Yari Samurai, but there's not much to that. So now I'm discussing with my teammates. I'm getting set up, and I'm going to go over here and capture the Sword Dojo while Blue captures the archery to make them come to us. You can see The blue player just had troops over here. He is sending them over here. I'm not sure if he notices it. He wanted to use these late game, but it is going to end up being a pretty big mistake in my opinion, because he still has his Thunderblast and his mounted gunners, but you're going to see him get caught here. I see this, so I start trying to get my spears up. And that's just poor play on his part. He's losing a very expensive unit that has not had a chance to get my shots off. And they're getting shots off at just some, cheap Yari Samurai. Because they're not even, they're vanilla. So he's supporting. I'm telling him, fall back to me because I have some spears coming up. He's able to save most of his mounted gunners, but that was a pretty hard exchange. Meanwhile, they are just regrouping, taking it slow, and now they have the range advantage. They have bow monks. They have some. I know they have some riflemen that they bring into play. Oh, they're over here. So blue is getting outflanked, and just not some poor positioning on everyone's part. I probably shouldn't have sent so many troops over here. I more or less send my whole army. I had some bow monks, so I should have sent them forward to at least harass, because I don't need line of sight to hit him, and I can harass his line infantry, or at least get his riflemen, his marines, if I break line of sight, like in an area here. So if you look, he just destroys that group of infantry. Meanwhile, those bow monks are doing the same thing, and they're going to rack up some major kills by the end of this battle. So I get here, the Yari Samurai start to rout. He still has 2 cav over here, so we need to be careful, but I have 2 groups of spears, some matchlocks, so I'm not too worried. But you are going to see our ally make a pretty big mistake. Like I said, these are expensive units. You don't want to throw them away, especially at this point of the battle. Right now, we don't have... he has a bunch of bow cav, but they're not in the fight. We're at a big disadvantage. He has Imperial Guard, the Guard cav. We don't have mobility, at least over here. He's going to chase after these routing Yari Samurai, and he's eventually going to get caught by these Samurai. Meanwhile, Blue's falling back, and he's just getting peppered away. I'm waiting for these cav to come into the battle, and here's where he's going to get caught. Just gets too greedy, takes a couple shots. And I don't know if he wasn't paying attention or what went on, but he shouldn't have been chasing this unit in the first place, in my opinion. He should have been getting his cav to support here, asking me in chat to support him with some Yari Samurai or something. Because now we're in a pretty bad position. You're starting to lose the power bar. This force is stopping me from moving forward. My men are more or less, all of them are at less than half, besides like my range. So a volley or 2 is going to just destroy my guy, so I can't really charge in. Blue's outranged, and at this point, if he tries to circle into range, he's probably not going to get first volley, and that's a risk we don't want to take at this point. And we're just getting outflanked now. And here come his bow cav finally. But they have no support. These are all, his avatar's there. But other than that, he has no support. I don't know why he'll use rally, but he's going to get some good hits off real early. But it's probably because the player didn't realize he had those cav. But you're going to see very quickly he's going to get engaged, and without a way to support these cav, they aren't going to do much. So blue's starting to engage. I start to send my katana samurai around over to this building. I want to force one of these groups to turn, or if he doesn't realize it, hit him on the flank. Now if you look, he gets some good shots off with his Imperial Guard. He gets a charge in, and here comes on the other side. These cav should have been moving. You can't stand still. And when he moves, it's too late. They're going to get caught on the right and just massacred. And they're just getting shot to bits by these Imperial Guard. So I think you brought them in too late. And this is also, when you bring only cav, you're left with a couple openings. And in a 3v3, you know, 2-3 players can come together to make up for it. As in a 1v1, you can catch someone off guard where they don't have enough spears or something to counter you. And a 3v3, once they notice it, like that, 2 players came together on 2 sides and were able to stop it. He gets shots off right here. I didn't notice this right away. But like I said, those guys are almost dead already. I charge in. At this point, I know the battle's lost. Parbar's slipping. I can't do anything. My ally got shot to bits. Red's out of the fight. It's just good game. I'm just going out with a bit of a... It's going out swinging. It's about all you can do in this situation. We just don't have the range anymore. Even if they were coming at us, my other ally was down to 2 line infantry, and we were just outnumbered. They had mobility. They would have probably eventually brought the cav round back, kept, you know, knocking us down with his bow monks and his riflemen, because they did have the archery dojo too. And that's going to be the end of it. I do charge that line. I get into this line a little bit, but that was just me trying to cause chaos. Meanwhile, blue's just charging in. And these guys mopped up his cannons that were back here. And that's going to be the battle. And like I said, if you don't know maps, it's understandable sometimes. But this map, knowing it, especially cannons that are immobile, you don't want to bring on a map, like especially the river town, because you aren't going to be able to hit the town very successful. You can blast them off the hill if they get it, but the hill isn't crazy important in river town. I mean, controlling it gives you a big advantage, but obviously if the other team can take the town, you have to come off the hill if there's key buildings. So we'll take a look at some of the stats of the kills. I had less than 500, which wasn't that impressive, and you know, my teammate Blue just couldn't get in good positioning and got killed off. His cav were just too vulnerable at the end. Now, if you look at them, 2 of the players did very successful kill-wise, especially Josh, who only had 100 losses for almost 150 kills. My katana samurai did fairly good. Even my bodyguard and stuff. But after that, it's kind of, my light cav did mediocre. My matchlocks did not get enough kills for what they cost. And if you look at those bow monks, 217 kills for 5 losses. They were just tearing us up. I usually like bringing at least 1 bow monk for that reason, because you do outrange the other player. And if you look at their top players, they were just destroying us. So that was that battle, and biggest moral of the story is, in a 2v2, 3v3, you gotta be there to support other players. I think my one ally left way too many forces out of the battle until it was too late, and Blue just got caught out of position, and by the time I pulled off the hill, I was just too beat up to do anything about it.